How's it going, everybody? The New England Patriots dropped the preseason finale to the New York Giants 31-29 on a late Kyle Walletta touchdown pass to Alonzo Russell. The Giants covered the 1.5-point spread, and you had the over on the over-under 35. There's your gambling information for the game. So we're not going to spend any time on that fourth preseason game. Came and went. It, as always, was just useless. The fourth preseason game is always just useless. I'm going to spend some time tonight mostly on roster cuts and then the two big trades that went down in the NFL yesterday, both of which involving the Houston Texans, which might or might not affect the New England Patriots, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But some cuts. Demaryius Thomas gone. Brian Hoyer gone. A lot of guys to the practice squad. Obviously, Ryan Allen cut earlier this training camp, the punter position. Hoyer, I don't find much of a shock. I mean, I think we all had a good feeling Hoyer was gone when he didn't get into the third preseason game until late, and then he didn't play. And then Stidham played most of this game at quarterback in the fourth preseason game, so it felt like Hoyer was a dead man walking for a while now. And I think the Patriots did him right, releasing him, letting him choose his own option. Looks like there's interest in him in Denver, interest in him in Indianapolis, who obviously now needs a quarterback. So, good for Brian Hoyer. I wish him well. Towed the company line here. Solid backup quarterback, but, we all know what Brian Hoyer is. It's time to invest in Jarrett Stidham. If Tom Brady goes down, your season's done anyway. So you might as well get the kid's feet wet, get him some experience, get him some reps. So I'm good with the move there. Demaryius Thomas being cut was a move I did not see coming. They ultimately go with 6 receivers: Julian Edelman, N'Keal Harry, Philip Dorsett, Josh Gordon, Gunnar Orlovsky, and Jacoby Meyers, not counting Matthew Slater. All just got me stunned. When Demaryius Thomas played the way he did the other night, I thought he was going to make this team. Now, there have been some conflicting reports about whether or not they're going to re-sign him. This was just a move to clear some roster space to get guys in the practice squad. I think he's worth a shot at that position. They don't have many bodies there. I think it's worth a shot bringing Demaryius Thomas back. I don't know why they released him. But, who am I to question Bill Belichick? Another move the Patriots made this week was the trade of Duke Dawson, last year's second-round pick to the Denver Broncos, for a sixth-round pick. And I think Bill Belichick deserves credit. I've seen some people here give him a hard time over cutting ties with a second-round pick after just 2 training camps. I think Belichick deserves credit. He realized he probably made a bad pick and cut his losses. There's a lot of teams that wouldn't do that. A lot of teams would just, hold on. We drafted this guy high. We got to invest, got to build, got to try and get something out of him. You end up giving him a bad contract. So I give Belichick some credit for that. Guys who made the team. Gunnar Orlovsky, fan favorite, who was playing his butt off the other night against the Giants, was told he was going to be cut. And then 15 minutes before the final 53s were due, Belichick calls him back and says he makes the team. So fan favorite there, feel-good story. Gunnar Orlovsky makes the team. Jacoby Meyers makes the team, which is a big one. Did not look too good in his brief time with Tom Brady in the third preseason game. But I think he's definitely worth a shot on that roster, so happy to see him make the team. Now, big time is here. Season opens a week from tonight. Raise banner number 6 and start the mission for number 7. Unbelievable how fast this offseason goes by. Patriots Steelers a week from tonight. Short show tonight, so I want to touch briefly on the 2 big trades yesterday that involved the Houston Texans, and as I said earlier, how this might affect the New England Patriots. First, they send Jadeveon Clowney to the Seattle Seahawks and receive a package centered around a third-round pick, Barkevious Mingo, former Patriot Barkevious Mingo. Obviously, Clowney had been holding out all camp, was franchise tagged, didn't appreciate it, felt like things had gotten really bad between him and the Texans. So he's on his way to Seattle to join a loaded defense. Him, Bruce Irvin, unbelievable defense there. I mean, just the long list of Seattle Seahawks defensive linemen this decade just grows and grows and grows. So we'll get into this Wednesday night when Greg Bedard joins me. I think Seattle's going to win that division this year. I do. And then another big one involves a team here in the AFC East, and this is not why it affects the Patriots, but they make a trade. Laremy Tunsil, the Pro Bowl left tackle who slipped in the draft 3 years ago. If you remember, there was a video of him fishbowling a car, released literally minutes before the draft, and he plummeted to the Dolphins at 12. And the Dolphins just sent him to the Houston Texans, and the Dolphins get back 2 first-round picks. So Brian Flores doing some work down there in South Beach. How this affects the Patriots for me is, with Jadeveon Clowney and 2 first-round picks gone, how much does Nick Caserio really want that Texans job? It felt like he wanted it. Back in June, the Patriots held their ring ceremony. The night handed out the rings for the Super Bowl championship. Jack Easterby, former team chaplain, who now works for the Texans, was there, attended the ceremony, and then the next day the Texans fired their GM and requested to talk to Nick Caserio. Patriots filed tampering charges. Bob Kraft and the McNair family met. Charges were dropped. Both sides moved on. But it felt like Caserio wanted out and wanted that Texans job. So I wonder now how much he does. And I wonder how much this is going to affect how much Nick Caserio desires the job, how much he wants out of New England. Caserio's been Belichick's right-hand man from the beginning. He's been here every step of the way from the very beginning of this process. One of the few people you can say that about. I mean, Belichick's right-hand man. I mean, McDaniels was gone for a while. Caserio's been here through it all. Caserio was here when this all started in the early 2000s. And I think he's had enough. I think he wants to move up with his career, and I think he realizes Belichick's not going anywhere. So how much he wants that Texans job is now probably going to be impacted by those trades, shipping 2 first-round picks to Miami for Laremy Tunsil. And on Miami, I think you're going to look out for this team in a couple of years. This year they're going to be terrible. This year they're going to be absolutely horrendous. They might go 0-16. I think there could be. I would pick both the Bengals and Dolphins to go 0-16 if it weren't for the fact they have to play each other. I'll pick the Dolphins to go 0-16 and the Bengals to go 1-15 and then one win to be over the Dolphins. The Dolphins are going to be absolutely horrendous. But our guy Brian Flores, look out for him. It feels like Miami finally has a plan. They traded for Josh Rosen. They're going to sit him behind Ryan Fitzpatrick this year. They're going to tank this year. They're probably going to draft Tua Tagovailoa or Jake Fromm on the top of the draft next year, the quarterbacks from Alabama and Georgia, respectively. I personally am rooting for Brian Flores. I am. I want to see him succeed. Because I felt like he had a big part in last year's championship. I like him. I think he's a likable guy. I hope he succeeds in Miami. I know you're thinking, oh, he's in the division. How can you say that? I hope he succeeds. I hope he does a good job. I hope he proves to be a good coach. Really rooting for him. So like I said, brief show tonight. Wednesday night, Greg Bedard of the Boston Sports Journal will join me, and we will preview the Patriots season, get his thoughts on training camp, the cuts, and preview the season. Opening night, 1 week from tonight, Patriots-Steelers, banner number 6 is raised at Gillette Stadium. Thank you for joining me. Go Pats.